Good morning. It is May 6th, 2022. Welcome to Morning Tea with me. We've got some Star Trek to talk about. Now, I didn't make any. In fact, I'm just going to wait a half a second. I'm going to let my tea seep before I get into any deets. Not sure who's going to watch today or chime in, but I'll just wait until there's a couple people, or at least one. Then I'll actually start getting into the meat of it. But if it doesn't start in a couple minutes or less, I will just start chatting and you guys can just watch it later. I watched, after I got offline yesterday, I watched Strange New Worlds. And then I watched it again with the fam. And then last night I also watched Picard. I am all, for the most part, caught up in Voyager, but I don't know if I really want to talk Voyager right now. But it is Friday. It is raining where I am, and yeah, so we'll just see. All right. Well, I got one eyeball. Ooh, two. If you can, chime in, tell me who you are, and let my tea seep here for a little bit. I did not make any notes while watching Strange New Worlds. That's the first thing we're going to talk about is Strange New Worlds. It is, let me just start off. It is amazing. Oh, I say that I'm going to start talking about Strange New Worlds, and I got an eyeball disappears. Julie, hey. So for those of you who tune in later, Julie is one of my mom's oldest friends, and Carl. I have new people on here. Carl, how you doing? Hey, reach out to me at some point, Carl. I've got a crimp class coming up on the 14th. So would love to get you in there. If you can, message me later about it. Okay. And then Carl, I've worked with Carl in security I haven't worked with him for many, many years, but that's how we met in the security industry. So Strange New Worlds. Let's just say when we talk about a show, like when DS9 came out, because I don't really remember. I mean, I was there for the Next Generation when it came out, but but I don't remember there being a lot of controversy at the time of it not being Star Trek. But I definitely was aware of DS9 when it came out of it's not Star Trek. And in fact, I was part of that group for a little bit. And then Voyager, was there any backlash? I can't remember, but I enjoy Voyager. Discovery is just blasphemy. Like, I watch it, still haven't seen season 4, but I wouldn't. The writing is just too horrible and the acting is too bad to call it Star Trek. I mean, even the cheesy acting that you had Shatner and everybody else in the 60s, that's better than what Discovery has to offer. But when it comes to Strange New Worlds, yes, it's the offshoot from Discovery, but it is not Discovery. It is, if you've watched The Cage, and if you've watched and imagined what a series with no Siri. I was not asking you. Let me turn Siri on. Jeez. A series of led by Captain Pike. This is it. I mean, the first episode was, I mean, I have some questions. I do have questions, but no concerns. This is Star Trek. This is getting back to the heart of Star Trek was when you look at just what Star Trek promotes. I did not feel in this episode that it was preaching to me at all. Yes, it had some, and I honestly, my brain is so scrambled right now. I couldn't truly get into all the little nuances of like, what it's teaching us or anything like that. But I didn't feel it to be preachy. Okay, Carl, you have a good night or good morning. I know you've been working all night. So, all right. And then, but I didn't find it preachy, where Discovery, on the other hand, is, you must feel my wokeness, and here's the message, and you're too stupid to get it, so we're going to shove it down your throat. Did not get that with Strange New Worlds. It was amazing. I cried probably about 3 times. The first point, now they put out the what is it? The credits, the credits without the credits a couple weeks ago, or maybe last week. And I played it here, with Space, the Final Frontier. Man, that thing came up, the credits came up. You could hear, like, it was a totally different essence than even just watching it on here or on the TV, just watching it as part of the episode. It was amazing. It was amazing. And I even kind of teared up the second time I watched it. So my question. Okay. So in the beginning, let's see, I don't even know where to start. See, this is what happens when you don't take notes. And I will probably take notes. In fact, Rob Ray has a radio show. And so we're going to be recording on like Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know when it comes out, but we'll be talking more about this. So I'll be a little bit more detailed in that. So I'll let you guys know when that's available to come out. But so they messaged this Kirk. So actually my first question was, when I get on there, the image that they're using is the one of the dude that's supposed to be playing James Kirk that StarTrek.com announced a month or so ago. I don't know the guy's name. He said he's been in a couple things that I'm completely unaware of, but apparently he's playing Kirk in Strange New Worlds in season 2. Yet they're using his image for episode 1. So I'm like, really? Okay. So, and then they, they're going into, because this is it's a first contact episode, and they're going to go save Una, who's number 1, who's gotten herself into a mess. Now they do mention a Lieutenant Kirk that will be joining them. Okay, are we going to see a Lieutenant Kirk? It is because he was on the Farragut 11 years prior to him becoming a captain. That was established in the original series, and this is less than a decade before he becomes captain. So he could have had the adventures on the Farragut and then gone over to the Enterprise, possibly. That's kind of all the stuff that's kind of going in through my head. Are they going to keep it timed? We do get to meet Robert April. Now, Robert April and Pike, refers to him as Bob in the beginning, and we kind of get that sense of when and he's introduced as an admiral April, is that he says it seems like your first officer can't keep downtime, or some line, like I can't remember, and he says my first officer was like that, and Pike rolls his eyes. Or he says, I had an officer like that one time. So Pike rolls his eyes, which it's like, okay, obviously at one time, Pike served directly under Robert April as captain, possibly captain to first officer. Was that aboard the Enterprise? That is not established. That is actually not established in this episode. All they're doing is just recanonizing, and you could say retconning because Robert April was a white dude with red hair in the animated cartoon. That's where we meet him. But or maybe it was, I can't remember what, maybe it was brown hair. I can't remember. But he was in the cartoon in the 70s. So I can see, making him a black guy, don't care. Don't consider that woke at all. But they don't establish that he was the captain before. They just, he's an admiral and he's in charge of the Enterprise, or Enterprise falls under him. So let's see. My other question is, we see Pike in his quarters, very large, luxurious quarters. Why does he have a fireplace with live fire on a starship? Or is it like they got rid of the hologram thing, so we can't do the holograms? So it's a lot. I mean, like, I know he's from Montana. It opens up. He's kind of a hermit who has sex with a gorgeous brunette. But what fire? I don't know. I found that a little bit odd. And this may just be a little bit more explanation of how they get the, because when you do an away mission on First Contact, sometimes you go down and you have plastic surgery or whatever. They did that in Enterprise. They did that in what is it called? They did that in The Next Generation. But here they give us a little bit more where it's actually messing with your genes to physically. So it's not necessarily plastic surgery. It's actually like you become genetically them in a way. So I guess I could buy it, but that's just, I'm putting that in. Maybe they're just giving a little bit more explanation of how we get all that stuff. Instead of doing like extensive plastic surgery, they just inject us with, something that'll fuck with our genes. I thought it was interesting when he showed, when at the end, when he was showing the alien race, basically Earth's history, and talking about, and they even mention a First Contact, or their two civil wars, and some of the comments that are going on in mainstream media and even non-mainstream media about what's going on now politically, is that potentially we could be looking at, another civil war. And then, of course, that civil war, he actually mentions the civil war led to the eugenics wars that led to, what's it called? That led to World War III. Which is interesting because at the end of Picard, we see Dr. Soon pick up a folder that said Project Con. So was that an old file, theoretically, from the 1990s? When he shipped, when he supposedly left Earth in 1996, because we didn't have any eugenic wars, or at least not that we know of. Maybe it wasn't televised. But I don't know. Are they just not worried about timeline, and the eugenic wars at some point will happen? And then, so I don't know. Anyway, but when we talk about, when it's all about, we hit bottom as a society, but we overcame it and we became a better people. And so, and then, I don't know. I thought that was interesting. Let's see. Okay. So Una being on the ship, or Una going on this first contact mission. How big was this ship that they were on? Because I can't remember the class name. Or it was the USS Archer, though, which is a callback to Captain Archer, first captain of the Enterprise starship. There was only her and 2 other people on this ship. So how big was the ship? Like, wouldn't you have more people? Questions. Now, did not ruin the episode. Now, all of these, all these concerns, like the fire and, how many people were on the ship, just concerns, or questions, not concerns. Did not ruin the episode for me at all. I was blown away. I'll watch it again. In fact, I need to watch it again so I can actually start making notes, so I can have a better conversation with Rob. But if you're watching Morning Kenny, we're just talking about Strange New Worlds. Next, I'm going to go on to Picard episode or season 2 finale. So watching count is very low this morning. I think that people haven't caught up, or don't have Paramount Plus or whatever, so they don't want it ruined. Let's see. What was I going to say? So yeah, overall, it was great. I'm going to watch it again. Can't wait until next week. I have to say this. Okay, so I have to say this. My daughter, who is also a Star Trek fan, she got mad at me because I watched it by myself. I didn't watch it, the second time I watched it with the family. So she got mad at me, but she sat down and watched it anyway. It was so funny because in the opening credits, Space: The Final Frontier, to boldly go where no one has gone before. That's what Pike says. And my daughter gets all angry. She's like, when does this take place? I'm like, it's like, I don't know, 8 years before Kirk takes over the Enterprise. And she says, it's a prequel? I was like, yeah, of course. It's Captain Pike. Of course it's a prequel. She says, then it should be No Man. It should be where no man has gone before. Not no one, where no man has gone before. And so it was so funny. She got so excited over that. And my wife is like, oh, well, and I don't, my wife is just being snarky, but she was like, oh, what women don't matter. And I was like, well, I always used to argue. Now I'm not really opposed to the whole, where no one, it's universal, global. But where no man has gone before. Yes. I know back in the 60s, it was probably really promoted that men, men rule the world. However, I argue it that man as in humankind, where no man has gone before, where no human has gone before. So that's how I interpret it. So even when watching it when I was a kid, that's just kind of what I assumed, because there weren't just men on the Enterprise. There were men and women and a Vulcan. And then we got other aliens at some point. But there you go. So on to Picard season 2 finale. So and you know what? I haven't had any of my tea yet. I should probably start drinking this. That's good. So, yeah, this season was really good. Like, it was really, really good. And I rewatched it from the beginning just so I could kind of, in my mind, get up to speed. So I can get all the story things, maybe catch something I didn't catch the first time. Yeah, the ending just wasn't that good. I was not like, oh my gosh, and teary-eyed and like usually I would be. Like, it's, okay, we get confirmed that Q is dying, and we have this moment between Picard and Q, and it was actually like, it wasn't a horrible episode. It's just not like, I kind of guessed everything. It was maybe I guess that was just it. Nothing was a surprise to me. There was one thing that was a surprise, but I think it was a throwaway. It actually could have not even been there, but I'll get to that. We did very touching scene between Picard and Jean-Luc and Q. You matter to me. All gods have a favorite. Like, I don't know. I thought that was very touching. Didn't get teary-eyed or anything, but touching. And then we have what was it? But Q is, the whole purpose behind the whole thing is for Picard to get over the death of his mother and to so he can actually move on with his life and not die alone, such as Q is. But what happened to the Q chick? Like, I just watched, like, it was yesterday's one of yesterday's episodes for Year of Trek. I just watched it the other day. Q in the Gray, where Q wants to, do it with Janeway, and she's like, absolutely not. And then we find out that there's a female Q that just happens to be played by the same actress who played Alexander's mother, and the mother of Worf's kid. Don't know the actress's name. And of course they had a long relationship, but then they end up mating by touching fingers, and boom, a new Q is born. So good storyline of Q is dying and there's purpose, but he's dying alone. Like, he has a kid and he has potentially a wife in whatever you might call the Q. Maybe it didn't work out. I don't know. But, or maybe Q, because he's such an asshole, alienated the Q chick and his son. I don't know. But like, potentially he did not die alone. Or he potentially could not have died alone. But I guess that's just the way the writers wrote it. So I think that was one of the things that I was like, hey, did nobody watch Q in the Gray from Voyager? Like, hello. Let's see. Raffi, I hate her character. I really do. I've never liked it. This season, she was a little bit better. Just not even her realization of, oh, I won't be, I need to work on myself. And, I realize that I hold on to things and manipulate people, and I want to be a better person. Nope, still didn't make me like the character. Sorry. And I even forget the character's name, but Agnes. Of course she was going to be the queen that shows up at the end. Hello, that was not a surprise. In fact, once she started messing with the queen, I was like, she's the queen at the end. Like, totally guessed it. Was not surprised at all. With the Romulan kid that dies in the beginning of the series or the season and then comes back as a hologram. And of course he's going to show up at the end. Like, that would be a horrible ending to that character. I mean, Star Trek has done much worse, but Q said there would be a surprise. Surprised that this is like not a very good ending. I don't know. And then let's see. Oh yeah, so they give the queen, so they find out, Agnes is really the queen. Picard's like, take over the ships. I trust you. I totally get it. Not outside of the character or any of the experiences that they'd gone through. I mean, it was written, for the most part, it was written logically, but there was just like, it was like, duh. And then you have, let's see. So she takes over the Stargazer, which takes over all these other ships to create this big shield for this big fiery ass they had to create a big shield. I don't even know how to, that was the dumbest presence. Like it was this fiery hole in space that was going to shoot out fire that was going to destroy everything in this sector. And they saved it by basically shielding it. And then it turns into a transwarp conduit or wormhole or something. I really wasn't paying attention because as I'm watching this, I'm like, that's dumb. Like, that's really all of this excitement and getting into Picard's brain and understanding this. And actually, like, it was a great season. And we end it like this? Really? Like, really? I'm sorry. I don't know. Yeah. So now here's a question. Because now the timeline has been restored for the most part. They have the queen. Was the queen coming from a different time? I mean, was it a a dimensional rift that she went through. I'd have to rewatch the first episode, or some type of, I don't know. So, but if she is actually in the regular timeline, were the two Borg sects separate? I don't know. And so you had the good Borg, the good Borg and the bad Borg. I don't know. And okay, let's go to what I think was just a throwaway. You have when it was announced that season 3 was going to have the return of everybody, and Will Wheaton was not in there, and Will was like, "I'm good, like I get it. Don't worry about it. I've got me. They're doing them. Don't worry about it." And then who shows up in the final episode but Will Wheaton? It was good to see him. I'm glad that they included him. And they kept the timeline of him being a traveler. And then he convinces Khan's kid, Corey, to go with him. And it was interesting that they connected the travelers with the supervisors. That those two sects are together. So I kind of liked that. But did we need to have that? It was just kind of throwaway. He shows up. "Hi, here's a sales pitch. Do you want to come with me? Great. Welcome to the Travelers." And they zip away. And that's it. That was it. We don't get anything else. Like, I'm glad Will Wheaton got to be part of Star Trek again. I think that's great. But really? Like, really? I don't know. I'm disappointed at it. Was such a throwaway scene. They could have done so much more, or not even had it, or not even had it in it. Like, yeah. I talked to Rob, and we were kind of theorizing, what season 3 might look like, and that they're saying that they aren't bringing Will Wheaton back, but what it might look like to be part of Will Wheaton. I'm getting a message. Who is it from? Oh, this is Bram. It's Bram sending me pictures of food. And I can't remember if this was part of our conversation or not, but we were theorizing, well, maybe he might show up at the end of season 2. That if, hey, Bill, that he shows up at the end of season 2 and saves the day. Like how tropish would that be? Will Wheaton comes back and saves the day because, Q is dying. He's lost his powers. And how do they get, they restore the timeline, but how do they get back to the timeline? They can always, he comes back. Now that would have been a satisfying ending to me for the end of season 2. And Rob and I had chatted about that, but it is what it is. So the whole of season Picard 2 was awesome. And, well, the ending was predictable and unexciting. I mean, there were some laughs, there were some touching moments, but nothing to write home about. So it is what it is. Okay, so a word from my sponsors. Actually, they're not my sponsors. I thought I'd say that. Some shameless plugs. I'm actually going to put this up here. Now, for all you martial artists out there, who have not registered, I only have one so far for this camp. So this is Bram's birthday bash. This is, let's see, that only says it's posted to, hopefully that'll post in. So I just posted a link. It says it posted it in what do you call it? Oh, shoot. YouTube, but I'm also streaming on Facebook, or at least I still should be streaming on Facebook. Bill just said hi from Facebook, but it's not coming up to say that I posted there. Anyway, okay. So anyway, Bram's birthday camp, July 15th, 16th, 17th. It's a 3-day camp. It's going to be awesome. bramsbirthdaybash.com. Here, I'll just put it up on the screen. So go there, register. I have not updated the artwork, but we are doing bolo and crimp this summer. It's going to be awesome. Okay. And then let's see what else is coming up. All right. So this is, of course, it only came for, well, that sucks. All right. So I'm going to show this. This is the website for my Friends in the Arts experience, happening June 4th. It is, it's going to be amazing. We got 6 instructors. It's going to be an all-day thing, break for lunch. I'm not serving lunch, or it would be more expensive. It's only $100. But we've got some great people. I'm going to be there. Harvey's going to be there. Harvey Hondent, Bobby Stroop, Rory Miller. We got Rob Ray coming from all the way from Florida. We got a gal, Shauna, coming. She's all the way from Tillamook, Oregon. Anyway, it's going to be an awesome seminar. So, okay. So Kenny is asking at your place again. I believe that this is in relation to Bram's camp. Yes, it will actually be at my house. Unless, of course, we only get like 5 people to show up, and then there's more than enough room at the school. But I always have. So the last couple, and mainly at Bram's camp, I've always had it at my house because I only have my garage, and well, there's not enough people to fit in the garage. So I have this massive backyard, and we cover most of it with tarps, or like these sunshades and tents. And it's a great time. So if you show up, yes, for the most part, yes, it will be at my place and at my home. Bring sunshade or sunscreen. I'm specifically talking to you, Harvey, because you did not last time and you got a little bit red. So, but I am working on getting more tents and more shade. So, but hey, it's out in the open, it's sunny, and we all have a great time. Friends in the Art experience is actually going to be at the school, June 4th. Yeah, it's a blast. June 4th. My birthday is June 2nd. So, of course, this is a birthday camp. So what did I want for my 50th? I wanted to get together with all my buddies and train. So it's happening in less than a month. Nobody has signed up. So it might just be all the instructors playing together. But it is what it is. However many people show up, we're going to have a freaking blast. It's going to be awesome. And then let's see what my last one, supporting the troops, or kind of supporting the troops. Here is the link to, and it's kind of super long. That is the link to Bobby Stroops and I can't remember why. I don't know why I can't remember his name right now. Francis Serrano. So the two of them are doing a doubleheader on May 21st. It's only a couple weeks away. That's the website. If you go to my YouTube, there's actually the link that you can actually click on. I don't know why this isn't posting to Facebook as well, but I might just get on there later and just post it in the stream just so the links are there. If they haven't been posted, it's just not showing me here. Anyway, so that's what's going on. Also, if you go to artisanmartialarts.com, if you're local, treat your mom to a self-defense class. I have 2 classes, 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. 10 a.m. class is almost full. I'm about 2/3 full in there. It's going to be an awesome class. And then I got about 1/3 full roughly for the 1 p.m. class. So there you go. It's only $10 and I'm giving away gifts. So yeah, it's going to be freaking awesome. And I gotta share this. Had promotions last night. I announced it yesterday because they don't watch the show. They're not on Facebook or social media or anything like that. But I have to share. Had a promotion last night, and I love the way that I do my promotions now. People just show up to class, we play, and then they get promoted. So that's our super great photo from last night. So very excited. They got their first belt, yellow, white stripe, and their jackets. So now they actually look like true karate people who play in their fighting pajamas. So let's see. Anything else? I think that's it. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. Okay. So the whole camp, my birthday, for those of you who are local, I'm actually having a barbecue Saturday night at my house for my birthday party. It's really funny because my wife doesn't want a birthday party and hers comes before mine. All I hear is surprise me. So I don't know. She might get surprised. She might just be mad. I don't know. Me, she's like, well, what do you want to do for your birthday? I'm like, I'm throwing myself a seminar and I'm having a barbecue. I'm turning 50. This is going to be fun. Like, we're going to party. Which, also, I also have to say, my 100 push-ups. I had mentioned this before. I had to repeat week 4 because I just couldn't make it. I was doing every day. I got on the last set. I just couldn't make it to the last number, but I'd go on to the second day and the third day. So, of course, I repeated week 4, blew it out of the water. Very, very proud of myself. Week 5, day 1, I got the first set, the second set, and then I couldn't make the numbers. So I was like, okay, well, instead of trying week 5, day 2, I'm just going to repeat day 1 until I pass it. And so the second time I tried it, I got all the way to the end. I was supposed to do, let's see, what were my numbers, just so I don't, I'm not too far off in being accurate. So let's see. Yeah. So I was supposed to do 27 with a 2-minute break, 34 with a 2-minute break, 27, 24, and then 37. So on Wednesday, I only got to 27 on the last one. I was able to do everything else. I only got to 27. So I was 10 short, which was great. But today I actually succeeded. So I finished day 1 of week 5. And instead of doing 37 at the end, I got to 38, which yay me. So I will have a couple, I don't know if I'm going to take a couple day break or if I'm just going to start back up on Monday, but I'll do week 2. And then I'll just check in with you guys on Friday, just kind of let you know where I'm at. But I did have somebody suggest in the comments at one point of, you do 10, take a break, do 10, you do end up doing 100 throughout the day. And then you slowly build up, like you do as many as you can, and then take a break, and eventually you'll get to 100. And that's cool. If that works, I'm just using this app. We'll see how far I can go. But I will say this, when I started out, I was only able to get about 27 push-ups out. And, which is actually more, which is less than what I've been able to do in the past, but more than I was able to the first time I started this round. On Wednesday, I was having class. I was having a year 1 class, and I only have one student in it. So someone and I are talking, and he's like, yeah, he says, today I just pushed out 30 push-ups. And I was like, could you do more? And he goes, oh, I don't know. I just did 30. I got to 30 and I stopped. And I was like, well, let's, cause I told him about, my goal and so we keep up on that. And I said, okay, well, why don't we just do as many push-ups as we can right now? And mind you, I'd already gone through my Wednesday workout routine in the morning, and then I had a class before him. So of course I do the warm up with the class. So I had done my 10 push-ups. So I did however many push-ups plus another 10 just the hour before. So I was like, let's see how many we can do. So he got to 30. That's as far as he could get. Me, I did 48 and I was tired. So I was like, yay me. So that was actually the first time that I'd actually been like, okay, how many can I do? So now the whole workout program says don't do any more push-ups than you do, because you want to be successful. But I was like, screw it. I'm already doing push-ups every day in class. I'm only doing 10, but yeah, 48, not bad. And then my wife last night, as I, limped to bed because I'm old and I'm slowly getting a little bit stronger, but I'm old. I move like an old man sometimes. And she's like, why are you killing yourself? Why do you feel you have to do 100 push-ups? Why are you doing that? I was like, because I never have. Because I'm turning 50. And you could almost say that 50, it's over the hill. I'm getting old. I have to prove myself. And kind of in a way, I am. One of the reasons I started losing weight a couple years ago is because my goal was to run a martial arts school. And who wants to learn from a fat guy? Now, I'm not, I have nothing against fat people. I have fat friends. That's a really bad joke. Just like saying, ooh, I have black friends. But here's the thing, is that when it comes to the martial arts, there's that stigma. Like if you're trying to, if you go into a school, you're going to judge that. You're going to judge that the instructor on how large they are. Because and maybe if you look past that, then you can see, oh, okay, well, they're a good instructor, or they move well. But generally there is that negative stigma. And I didn't want to be part of that. Plus, I kind of like being a little bit healthy. And so I started eating a little bit better, and I've kind of gone up and down. I weighed this morning. I am 154. I keep track of it. Oh, 154. I wish I was 154. I am 254.4. So I actually got down July of 2020. I actually got down to 228. My goal was 220. Got to 228. Actually, I think it was 226. And life and all that kind of stuff got in the way, and it's just kind of fluctuated. Stress. I'm a stress eater. That's and I love pizza. Stress eater. Peanut butter jelly sandwiches. Oh my gosh, I'm getting hungry. So that's really kind of where that comes from. But I feel like I'm on a better path. My daughter made cookies last night, and I haven't had one bite. Like, that's success for me. That's like, yay, I can do this. But yeah, I'm getting older. The us as men, well, just us in as humans, we get more frail the older that we get. And men, we produce less testosterone. We get a little bit, it's just a fact of life. So, being more conscious of wanting to, wanting to be that model instructor. People come in, they don't see a fat guy. They see, oh, he's a big guy that teaches well. Okay. They just the fact of feeling better, and just the fact of that I set a goal for myself and I achieved it. Now, will I actually be able to do 100 push-ups on my birthday? I have no clue. I'm going to film it, and I don't know if I'll go live. I'm not sure, because I don't know when I'll do it. It's a Thursday, so everybody's going to be at school. People are going to be at work. I'm going to be here, so I'm not I'm not sure how it's going to do it, but I'm going to do it, whether it's live or pre-filmed, no edits, maybe the front and the ending, but I'll post it, and whatever number I get to. Will it be 100? Sure, that's my goal. That's my goal. So there we go. Yeah, that's everything for today. And I still got a little bit of tea left. All right. It is 10:30. I have to get some stuff done. Oh, for you martial artists out there, whether you're watching now or not, Brandon Beliso he does his little podcast at 11 Pacific Standard Time on Facebook every Friday. So in about 30 minutes, that's what I'm going to tune into, because sometimes I miss it. Like last week, I completely missed it, but I'm not going to miss it today. I try and give him as much props as possible. And so when I post stuff, or, when he goes live, I like to share that so people will see it. Let's see. Kenny has been just posting away. Let's see. Peanut butter and jelly with a glass of milk. Not a milk person, but yes. I would totally. Actually, what I would do is I would do a peanut butter jelly sandwich with a glass of chocolate milk. I would go there, because if you're going to increase your carb levels with the sugar from the jelly and the carbs from the bread, you might as well go all out and add some extra sugar with that chocolate. I mean, and just really enjoy it. Let's see. And yeah, it is all about willpower. So, all right. It is, it's the last sips. And it's Friday, so you will not see me Monday, or no, did I say Monday? No. Saturday, because this is just a Monday through Friday thing. So I will see you Monday, and I'll try and be more consistent. I came on at 9:30 today, so, or maybe a little bit later. I want to try and do the 9 to 9:30. So cheers, be safe, train hard, watch your Star Trek. We got tons of Star Trek coming up. I will see you later.